guys, it's Christina from Redefine Creative, and I am super excited to be back with my August Kill a Kit with Style kit share. And so for the month of June, I went with a really bright, fun summer color palette, and I based it on a 12 by 12 paper pad like you would pick up at Joann's or Michael's. And then in July, I based it on combining together a ton of Maggie Holmes kind of collections and showing you some ways that I was using those on masculine and feminine layouts. And so for my kit for August, I wanted to do something different. So I have pulled out a lot of like outdoorsy, camping, a lot more masculine types of things so that I can really do some camping and some boy layouts. And so that's kind of why I picked the kit that I picked for the month of August. The other thing is, over in the Rediscover Your Stash Facebook group, for the month of August, our product focus is on using our stamps. And so I have pulled a bunch of stamps into this kit, knowing that I need to be using and kind of showcasing those this month because of Rediscover Your Stash. So if you are not part of that group on Facebook, I would definitely encourage you to go over there and join. It's called Rediscover Your Stash, the Facebook group. All right, so I have a huge kit, as always. I have my IKEA organizer ready to put this month's kit away. And so I'm just going to go through real quickly, show you what I have pulled. A lot of this time is leftovers. So there isn't a whole, there's some, but there's not a whole ton of brand new product. So I really tried to pull this time scraps of paper, ones and twos from a collection, things that I really just have left over. All right, so because of the way this ginormous stack is done, we're going to start with the embellishments and move down to the paper. And so because I'm working with stamps, I wanted to pull in an embossing powder, and this is Baked Texture. This is from Emerald Creek, and this one is Patina Oxide, and so it has this like really gorgeous kind of green, browns, tans. And so I thought it would kind of go well with this outdoors, masculine kind of camping theme. So I'm going to attempt to try and use that with some of my stamps. And then I have also pulled in a bunch of sequins, and I may end up switching some of these out for some colors that work a little better. But to start with, I have grabbed just some wood grain mini sequin packs, and these are all from Spiegel Mom Scraps. I have Blues Traveler, which has some of these really great blues and yellows. I have Chocolate Cookies, which kind of has the whites, tans, browns. And then I also have Honor Guard, because it's got a lot of the red and then the bright blue, which I'm not going to necessarily use these together for anything patriotic, but I will likely pull them apart and mix them with the other ones to either give me the blues or the reds. So those are the 4 sequins that I have pulled. I have also pulled out some Spiegel Mom Scraps cork that I have left over. So I've got cork confetti, which is the little chevron arrows. And then I have Evercork Forest, which is a bunch of different sizes of little trees. I'm going to try and get some cork in there this month. All right, in this little baggie are some leftovers from a click kit. So I'm going to take them out of the bag. I have a few of these little epoxy travel map themed arrows. I have some acrylic words that just say my life with a little heart. I've got one little llama and one little bike that says ride on. So I'm going to attempt to use some of those little teeny tiny goodies this month. And I'm just setting them in my organizer over here. That's where I'm going. I pulled out some baker's twine, and this is blue and white. And then I also threw in some embroidery thread because I'm trying to remind myself that I want to get back into doing more stitching. So I just pulled the white, green, and blue that kind of go with the theme of this kit. So what I've been trying to do throughout the months is show you guys that your kits can start in different places. So they can start with a paper pad. They can start with a designer like Maggie Holmes. This one, it can start with a theme. So I'm trying to kind of vary where I start my kit making so that you guys see a lot of different possibilities. All right, I've got some Cocoa Daisy enamel dots. We've got the blues, the tan, the yellow, and the orange, so that should go with everything. I have just a few of these little puffy stickers left, and this is from an older Pink Paisley collection. So I'm going to try and get these used up. There's only like 7 left on there, so I think I can do it. I have some Flair from Feed Your Craft. Let's get away, urban exploring, adventure, go see, do local hotspots. We'll see if we can use up some of those. I also have a little baggie of ephemera, and this came out of a kit that I had put together a long time ago. And this was kind of the stuff that was left over. So some of this may or may not go with this particular kit, and that's okay. So I just grabbed the whole little baggie. So I'll just kind of flip through here. Favorite place, new house, lake life, live free, home of the brave. So we've got all kinds of different stuff. The color scheme, though, works pretty well. So I can definitely see where I could use some of this stuff. Go, go, go. Where the heart is. Seize the day. Let's go, adventure's calling. That one's really cute. I think I can definitely use that. The adventure begins. East to west. Day trip. Some florals. So kind of a mix. Like I said, this was something that was pulled together for a different kit that is left over. And so leftovers are a really great place to start. So I'm going to take all these out of this bag, because if I leave them in the bag, I won't flip through them and look at them. And then all the ephemera comes out of the package, and it's going to go in its own little container. So whether you're using a box like this or any other kind of container, I would suggest taking your ephemera out, because then you're going to grab it and flip through it when you're making your pages. All right, I have some really old basic gray enamel dots. So we're going to try and use some of those. I have one word left of these acrylic Bella Boulevard that just says explore. I have these puffy stickers from Paper House, Discover the USA. So I'm thinking maybe some of these little trees and things I can get used up. So those are going to go in there. I told you guys this was going to be a big one. All right, I have some ephemera from Pretty Little Studio. And let me go ahead and pull that out too. And I really like this background that came on their packaging with the mountains. And so I'm going to pull that card out too, because I may end up fussy cutting that little area. And so we have another one of those mountains. Adventure awaits. Some little trees. Some labels. Flowers. Some smaller icons, just giving myself an assortment of things to try and use up this month. So those are going to go in there too. I have a couple of travel cards left from an Allie Edwards kit. So let's be adventurers, pack your bags, vacation. And then I also have some cards left over from the My Mind's Eye Wander collection. So I pulled just a few of those. Something like this is going to go with basically any type of kit, so that will work no matter what I want to do. This would give me something great maybe to punch out of. So just giving myself lots of choices. And that's something I like to do in my kits. If you are somebody who struggles when you have a lot of choices, definitely make a smaller kit. All right, these are some Constellation rub-ons from Creekside. And then a Pink Fresh golden foiled wooden alphabet. So it's got gold foil on the bottom and wooden letters on the top. So we'll see if we can get those into here used up this month. I do have a few other alphabets that I pulled, again, so that I would have options. So these stickers are called Adventure, and it has the yellow, blue, red, green kind of color combination. And then I have a distressed gray that is called Print Shop. And then I have a foam gray that is called Stylist. It's a little bit bigger font. And then I have a small white alpha, and this one is from 7 Paper Clara collection. So this will give me a block, but in a little bit smaller, so I can kind of mix and match with some of these bigger fonts. So lots of letter choices. I have some stickers left over from Creekside. So you're kind of seeing I'm pulling from a lot of different places in here. And I'm not necessarily sticking to one color combination. I'm kind of going with all of these outdoorsy colors. So I can take this kit in a lot of different directions because I have a lot of different color choices. So I may be able to pull out just the blues or just the greens or just the reds, because I'm going to have some things that will fit with all of those different color combinations. I have some kind of puffy epoxy phrase stickers, and these were from Fancy Pants. And so I'm going to throw those into that kit as well. And then I have some ephemera left over, and this is Cartabella from the Great Outdoors. So same as before, I'm going to go ahead and pull all of this out of the packaging so that I have it readily available and I can flip through it when I am ready to make a page. That kind of gives you an idea of what the ephemera is that's in here. So we pulled all that out and we're going to throw it in this little ephemera bucket. So we have a lot of ephemera this time, which is great. All right, I also have some die cut kind of cutouts. These are from Close to My Heart. And so we've got some metallic ones. We've got some that have a wood grain background. And I've used them on 1 or 2 layouts, but I am ready to use them up. And I've pulled the paper for these as well. So we can definitely try and get those used up. I had, for some reason, 2 packs of Creekside ephemera. And both of them are mostly used. So I am pulling out the few pieces that I have left. That's kind of what it looked like in the beginning. I'm going to pull out the few pieces that I have left from both of them, combine them together, and throw them in this kit. So I have some high ambitions this month, you guys. There's a lot of stuff in this kit that I want to get used up because it's little bits and pieces of things that are leftovers. All right, so that takes care of that. All right, I have pulled 2 6x6 paper pads. So I've got the one from Creekside, and these are definitely things that I've been using. So they're partially used already. And then I've also pulled out Lakeside. And I'll just quickly kind of flip through that. So this is going to help me bring in some of the colors and some more kind of goes along with that theme. So I've got 2 of those. And then I also had a few pieces left over from that same Pink Paisley Outfitters collection. And then this one is from Fancy Pants. This is some Wild Whisper Designs, but I wanted that touch of red. So a few other scraps that are going to go in with that section of the kit. Okay. So we are down to my stamps, my paper, and there's a couple of bigger embellishments in here. All right, so I have pulled out a bunch of stamps, and a lot of these are newer because I wanted something that was going to make me super excited to dive into this kit. So because I have a lot of leftovers and older product, I needed something that was new and exciting that was going to make me excited to work with this. So the first group of these are all from Studio Calico, and then this National Park one is from Kelly Perky, if you're looking for any of those. So these are all kind of going to go with that travel theme. This one's got my favorite lately, the hexagons and banners with all kinds of possibilities to customize. I've also got some great words down here. Would help if I showed you the other side actually so that you can see what they actually look like. There we go. That's a little better. So all kinds of kind of travel-y adventure theme. And then I also have this one that is into the woods and camping themed. And then I have one that is lake themed. So both of those are going to give me some more adventure and outdoorsy options. And then I have some smaller ones about journeys and adventures and exploring. So just things that are going to match up with the theme that I picked that I wanted to work with for this particular month. All right, and then our paper. So I'm going to go through this pretty quickly. This first section, this is all from Close to My Heart. And so I'm just going to kind of flip through. This is all of this stuff that goes with that kind of travel and outdoorsy theme. Some of it definitely has been used already. So there are scraps in here. This one's really fun. Some of them, there are definitely 2 of each that are left still. So I'm going to have options for using both sides if I want to. And I know that this is kind of an unrealistic goal for 1 month to work through all of this stuff. But as I have said in most of my videos, I really like to have options. All right, so my next set is some paper from Studio Calico. This was a kind of travel and adventure kit that came out. I think it came out in either June or July. So I have learned to be with those I like is enough. So this huge quote through the middle. And then we've got kind of this blue on the background. We've got a metallic constellation. So that'll go really well with those rub-ons we pulled out. Some light colored stars, and then this really bold stripe. Got kind of an outdoorsy map, and then a grid with some distressing on it, some ledger paper. That one's just a whole bunch of different colored arrows. So this is kind of giving me some of the brighter elements. This one I definitely would fussy cut. Some more wood grain, a bright yellow, some more stars. So I definitely want to have the option to add pops of color or to stay more with a neutral color palette. So I've kind of pulled in both things. This one is a leftover piece I have from Creekside. We've got Jelly Bean Soup Shades of Color. So I have 2 sheets left over from that particular collection. And if you need more information about any of this paper, because I'm going pretty fast through the paper, just leave me a comment down below and I can tell you who a certain paper is from and what it's called. This one is from The Wildlife by Echo Park. And so this is going to give me some of that red again that I was looking for. This one's from Simple Stories, and I was thinking definitely about cutting some of these circles out. Another wood grain. That's the 12 by 12 sticker sheet from The Wildlife. So this is going to give me some sticker options for layering my embellishment clusters, which is good. And then I also pulled in, this is the 12 by 12 chipboard because our July focus was chipboard. So I don't want to lose my momentum on my chipboard. Not all of this is going to fit the feel or the colors that I am working with, but there are definitely things that I can use. So all of these things that are in the greens will be perfect with this kit. I have to kind of watch that this has a little bit more of a little kiddish theme to it. So if I'm going to go with that, I need to kind of create a page that completely goes with that. All right, and then I have grabbed just a little bit more paper, guys. All right, this one is just some leftover cards from Creekside. This one we have is from Pink Paisley. Another one from Creekside. So I warned you, I was pulling in kind of all of my leftovers here. Some more Creekside. There's another Goodnight Sky, some plaid. A lot of these you'll notice are leftovers, so they're not full sheets of paper, which is fine because I'm going to try and use them up. And I very rarely will use a lot of these papers like this. I would very rarely use this as a whole paper. So there's no reason why I can't pull in a partial sheet because that's all I would be using most times anyway. And some gingham. And those last ones were all from Creekside. So I'm going to take all of that paper and those extra oversized embellishments and they're going to go right in the back. And so I've got all of my paper and 12 by 12 embellishments in the back section. Then I've got my stickers and thickers and stamps. And then my embellishments are all in the smaller sections. So it is all ready to go. And I am super excited to get started with August and kind of work with the theme this month and make sure that I get some of my camping, travel, and adventure layouts created with a more masculine feel. And I will see you soon. Bye!